Welcome.
Yes, exactly. So happy to be here again.
Fancy seeing you here.
Fancy, what are the odds, right? Same bat time, same bat channel. Here we are. Well, public service offers us the opportunity to do the kind of work that we really can't do anywhere else.
Right. So, why do you serve?
These are the bigger questions that we're going to be talking about on today's live show, Gov Geeks Assemble. All right, welcome everyone. So this is Karen.
And that is Javier.
Yes, I am. And together we are
The
the Gov Geeks. Yes, I always love doing that when I'm watching.
You enjoy it a little too much.
Maybe I do. Yeah, so I'm super excited. I have this awesome flag bow tie, one of my favorites that I love to wear. To be honest, this is maybe one of 4 flag bow ties that I have. Technically 5, if you don't consider one with the stripes to be flag bow tie.
Right, but strangely enough, it matches our logo.
Yeah, what are the odds of that? So thanks very much for joining us for today's show. We're going to be talking about public service and really why we're in public service and why we choose this as a career, why any of us have chosen public service. But before we get into that, also please remember that we have an awesome challenge, the 14-day Gov Geek Challenge. Sign-ups are happening now. So over the course of 14 days, we'll work directly with you to craft your resume, to get your career strategy and your profile set up and good to go, and also work on some interview prep as well. So at the end of those 14 days, you'll walk away feeling a little bit more confident about how you're going about writing your resume, conducting your interviews, and really finding your path in public service. We're really excited to offer this one.
Yeah, absolutely. And being prepared.
Being prepared, exactly. That's one of the most important things, kind of like a nice Boy Scout motto.
Yeah, always be prepared.
I should also mention on our website, if you sign up for our Gov Geek community, our Gov Geekdom, it's also a great place for you to sign up for a resume course that we offer. And this one is totally free. We spent a lot of time putting this one together. There is links, tutorials, templates, video instructions, all sorts of stuff there. So it's a really valuable resource. But yeah. All you have to do is sign up. Not bad, right?
Not bad at all.
So Karen, tell us a little bit more about what we're talking about today.
So essentially, we're just talking about what motivates you to be in this public sector. You could be going into all sorts of positions within the private or nonprofit world, but what about public service really calls to you? So that's kind of what we're going to be discussing today, and especially, what it means to you, right? So what it means to all of us, what it means to you as a public servant, what it means to those you serve, and those you serve with. So it's just a lot of going, taking an introspective look into public service.
Yeah, exactly. And it's interesting because when we say the term public service, there's so many definitions of what is a public servant. You could be a public servant and be a university professor, school teacher, firefighter, police officer. You can work at the state, local, or federal levels, tribal levels, international work as well. And really at the end of the day, as long as the work deals with helping the public, there's nearly no limit to who can be a public servant.
Right. And then you hit the key word there is helping, which kind of ties into, our first portion of this is, how do you help others? Right. So I know you and I, we definitely, that's one of our drivers is how can we help, right? I think we've even said it in a lot of our videos is helping you to help yourself, right? Or help them to help you. So it's all about helping. So how can you help others? How can we help the public? And how can we serve to better do that?
How can we serve others? Those are just critical items and components. And I really think about that concept a whole lot because when we founded the Gov Geeks, now going on 4 years ago, it was all about this idea of providing value or service to public servants. We're a great community all across the country and the world. And a lot of times we may not get a lot of recognition. There's just a lot of expectation that the roads are going to work the way that they're supposed to, that we're going to have clean air, clean water, that if something happens, government is going to be there to allow for safety. So,
well, that's the key. We're not supposed to be
exactly.
known, right? You're not supposed to notice us. You're just supposed to enjoy the services that are provided to you.
Yeah, and that's the whole social contract theory that John Locke had come up with so many years ago. And having the opportunity to serve the greater good in these roles or capacities is providing a way to fulfill what that is. And that doesn't mean that everything is perfect. That doesn't mean that government gets it right all of the time and that there are no issues. I mean, of course, there's plenty of concern. At the end of the day, it's the decision of a person that says, I'm willing to step up and be of value to other people. I'm willing to do my part to help out. And I think that's what really drives service in general. Karen, you've had a very successful career. How is it that you drive yourself to serve others?
I think it's understanding the impact that I have, and really making sure that I'm staying true to the mission of the organization, the mission of just public service as a whole, and just knowing that my efforts can maybe make it a little bit easier for somebody to maybe bring a child home that's missing, can maybe find somebody who has done something terrible and bring them to justice. That I think is, one of the main drivers is just trying to make the world a better place, which I know that sounds very, I don't know, hokey or very aspirational, but still doing it within, with a humble mindset, where, you're not, the God complex out there or anything, but it's just doing what you can to serve and make things a better place. I mean, I know that's why I got into it, is I just wanted to improve things, to do whatever I can. I know we talked about RBG a while back, but using whatever my skills may be to help out. And I think that's really what it boils down to. And you may not see a huge impact. You may not be the person that knocks down the door necessarily, but you had a part in getting those tools for that person, or identifying how to get the information of where that door is. So it's just a matter of really thinking through that small act that could just make a larger impact.
Yeah, many hands make light work, and it's this collaboration, the support of all of us coming together as a community to provide that value to others. And when you're mentioning about you're not necessarily the one kicking down the door or whatever the metaphor is for the act of public service, but you could be the one helping to support whatever that activity is. And it makes me think of that legendary story about JFK when he visits a NASA facility and he happens to see a person that's there sweeping the floors and cleaning out the trash and everything. And he says, hi, I'm Jack Kennedy. What do you do here? And he responds back, I'm helping to put a man on the moon. And it's so true, because it takes everyone's efforts to really have a bigger impact. And I think that is really, how do you help others? That's this bigger thing. If you ask yourself, how do I have fulfillment in my work? How do I know that I'm making a difference? What is it that helps me sleep at night? These are all areas that we've talked about before. But really, when you help others and you generate value, that's really what it's all about. And that's public service. And to really borrow what you had mentioned as well, to make the world a better place, it's definitely true. That's just really what it is. So, hi, Ella. Thank you so much. I appreciate your comment.
Yeah, and it's you may not make the world a utopia, but I think it's trying to put some little improvements here and there.
Right.
Again, to try your best to make it better. Right, that's kind of all that any of us can do, and that's kind of our goal. And I think the other thing about it is, we're kind of I don't know how you would say it, as far as administrations come and go, and we're there to provide that continuity, right, to help make sure that things continue to move on. make sure that the next administration comes in, they know what's going on, and we can help with that smooth transition.
The work of government still continues. And I'm so happy that you brought that up, because a lot of times, as we've been doing the Gov Geeks for a number of years now, the thought is public service, well, that must mean something political. And
we get that question all the time.
We get that question all the time.
Yeah. It's apolitical.
Yeah, we're totally apolitical. And government really is apolitical as well. So, these are the things that we need to consider about who we are and how we function. It's still important that we have safety, that we have good food, we have clean water, that we're safe. All of the functions of government, you can list off any of the government agencies really that are doing this solid work on behalf of the people. Regardless of all of that, it still continues.
It has to. Yeah.
It has to.
Yeah. We need those roads.
Yeah, this larger idea again about how do you help others, but another big question is, what is the impact that you're making as well?
Right. Yeah, we talked a little bit about it already, and you may not automatically see it, but again, it's what are those little things that you have been a part of to accomplish? It could be policy writing. It could be creating an efficiency. Anything like that to not only help the government, but make it work better and faster, especially as technology continues to grow, and making sure that we're keeping up with it. I don't know about you, but sometimes it seems like we are kind of behind the times as far as with technology, right? So you often have to just find ways to be efficient, so you can continue to get that work done.
Yeah, it's interesting that you bring that up, because in so many areas in the private sector, there is the latest and greatest technologies and tools and equipment and lots of funding and staffing to be able to do stuff. And many times in government, our resources are really stretched. So we have to think of innovative ways and solutions to do the work that needs to get done, even though there are a number of limitations there as well, because it has to be done.
Right. Well, even like during a shutdown, right? It doesn't really shut down. The work still has to happen. So how do we do that and continue to function?
Sure.
And then also kind of like during that time, what does that mean to a public servant when you are shut down? So I know there were a lot of resiliency webinars and things like that everybody was attending. But it's just you're still an integral part of it. It's a different scenario.
Sure.
So.
And then also in the pandemic, there's a number of challenges that we have for operations, and yet we're still able to serve the public, to serve the American people.
And I think we need to make sure that we continue to realize that we are still able to do our job, where many people in that we serve are not, or many of the essential workers, like the people at the grocery stores, the people in retail, they're still having to work too. So it's just making sure that we keep that in mind. And I'm going to talk about being humble again, where it's just you're just doing your part. You're just a part of the process that's trying to make a difference.
Yeah, and I love this one from JFK. One person can make a difference, and everyone should try. I have a magnet of this one as well. It just really kind of makes me think about the importance of what public service is.
Yeah, I don't know if you could tell, he collects many things.
Well, yeah, we do together.
Got Uncle Sam over there.
Yeah, all of us working together. That's really kind of what it's all about, I guess.
Right, but to talk about like impacts, right? It's just being humble about what your impact is. It's the little things, and many of us are not in this business for the accolades, for the recognition. It's really just for the work, and kind of like the Theodore Roosevelt quotation that was up there earlier. It's the good work worth doing. Yeah, it's
far and away the greatest gift is to work hard at work worth doing, because you want to know that your day matters, and that your brightest gifts and talents matters, and then it's dedicated towards something that really makes a lasting impact, really makes a difference. And that's really what lights people up about public service, because when you have the chance to really recognize what impact that you have made, the fulfillment that's there is it's just really good. And of course, not to say that you can't get fulfillment in other areas as well, but it's just, again, so unique in public service. And kind of like Shirley Chisholm, which I love this quotation as well, service is the rent we pay for the privilege of living on this earth. And Muhammad Ali, of course, had a similar as well. But I mean, we're here to connect and to serve others. And it's even like a biological connection with us as well, because we are a community-based species. I mean, our humanity is driven by the connections that we make and the efforts that we provide for one another towards the community and towards the greater good. So serving others not only helps them, but also rewards us in the process as well.
Right. Yeah, and again, like with the impact, think of your postal service, right? Especially right now, many people are ordering more, and you're whether it's relying on getting your medication or anything like that. It's them.
We have our medications delivered to us by mail. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So it's just so many things to be thankful for. And again, I can't say enough for those essential workers out there with the restaurant workers, grocery workers who never really stopped at all despite all that was going on. And I think that's a clear indicator of what you do selflessly. So while they may not be in the public service, they are serving the public.
Mm-hmm.
So that has been evident throughout all of this, and just thank you all for all of that. You are very humbling for us in the public service, because again, something that needed to be done, and people wanting to get their groceries in a safe way, and you were making it happen. So that's really what it's about, is filling that need, for people. So.
And it's just this idea, like our third area, about us being stronger together, and that's really the bigger area. And I know you have a bit of a challenge coin.
Oh, I do, a bit of a challenge. No, but this is our Gov Geeks challenge coin. So challenge coins. You want to talk a little bit about what challenge coins are?
So in government, especially in DoD, these are a larger rite of passage, really. There are so many ways to say thank you, but we don't have a lot of access to them in public service. I mean, it's not easy for us to say, here's your on-the-spot cash award bonus, here's your trip vacation, here's
your car, your company car.
Yeah, I mean, there's tons of things like that you can do in the private sector, but in public sector, you just can't. So they have challenge coins when a certain accomplishment is made, and there needs to be a degree of recognition. You earn the challenge coins, and they are provided to the individuals for doing that work. And I know you have a collection. I have a much smaller collection, but it just depends on the culture that you're in government. No, it's totally not a competition. It's all about the recognition and the thank you that's really there. And on the reverse side of this challenge coin is the bigger message. So it says, thank you for your service. And that's really what the challenge coin is about. It's recognizing the accomplishments, the hard work, the dedication, and sincerely thanking people for their service.
Right.
Yeah, very important. And this whole idea about we are stronger together really connects with that.
Yeah, I don't know how to really go beyond that, but it really is. And I think there's something that I've gotten used to doing is many times when you're at work and people go, oh, hey, how you doing? And a lot of times I would say, I'm doing well and I'm doing good, right? Because I am trying to do good, right, in my work. So not the right grammar, right? So that's why it's doing well and I'm doing good.
Yeah. And I think Adams had a quotation about do good and be good. So you're out there being of value and be of service, and you're just trying your best to be good in the process. And it's just, we are stronger together. This community, this engagement, this support that we're offering one another, that is how an extension larger than ourselves.
And that's how we succeed ultimately, right? Is lifting each other up, helping each other.
Rising tide raises all boats.
Yeah, and that's why we started this to begin with, was just to share and help improve the government as we go along.
And I know we have a couple of other quotations here. This one from Arnold Schwarzenegger: "Help others and give something back. I guarantee you will discover that while public service improves the lives and the world around you, its greatest reward is the enrichment and new meaning it will bring to your own life." Yeah, that says it as well. I mean, we are stronger together. It's this commitment towards helping one another. And you can again think of any number of different careers in public service. If there's anything in the health field where we're providing service to the sick, to the needy, we're providing homes. If it's if it's HUD, housing and urban development, and how we're going about structuring different programs to help people. If it's the federal student aid program, which we're extremely thankful for,
Absolutely.
to have gotten our degrees and to be able to move up in our career. I mean, there's just so many services that are out there that are allowing society to be able to function overall. And you can think about any of these areas really. Those are the main things about why public service. I think if we spent more time on this, we certainly could. This could, be a 3-hour program just talking about public service and going into more depth about everything else. But Karen, do you have any closing thoughts on why public service, or what does public service mean to you?
I think that's the whole thing. Just continue to do good with this work that is worth doing, because it's needed, absolutely. And keep in mind that you are there to serve the greater good, and everything you do is with a public trust, with taxpayer dollars. So it's, don't take that lightly. It's a very important job that you've been entrusted with. So,
and I think we have a picture of the oath of office that federal public servants take upon entering government. So I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which I am about to enter. So help me God. And we all have seen different presidents take the oath of office, but this is something that federal employees take upon entry into government. And I was part of a ceremony at the Federal Executive Institute from the Office of Personnel Management, where I had the opportunity to reaffirm and re-say that again. And I think you had that as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm getting a little emotional.
Yeah, and I mean, I would say, especially no matter what type of public service you're in, local government, state government, federal government, I think one of the thoughts that we always come away with, especially in DC, is just taking a look at the architecture of the buildings that have been here, and that, it's just a symbol of everything, and those remain a constant. And it's just to remember the impact of that and how it's much bigger than any of us.
Right. And that's the point. It is serving something that is bigger than any one of us. And there's a number of symbols. If you look at currency, if you look at our dollars, our other symbols in government, one of my favorite ones is this idea about a lone reed together is very flimsy and fragile. But if you bind a set of them together, it becomes very strong, very sturdy and stable. And that's really what government is. Us
Stronger
as individuals, stronger together. We're coming together. And to borrow a line from the West Wing, government should be a place where people come together and nobody gets left behind. What a nice thought.
And that's a great place to end it.
Yes. So, we have maybe one question for the Gov Geekdom Q&A. And I know one of the questions was just generally about, do I need to list all of my experience on your resumes? This was a really good question that we had from a coaching session not too long ago. And there's this need sometimes, where we feel this need rather, I need to list every little thing in my resume. And if not, it's going to be terrible. And really, you don't need to put everything in there, but you just need to make sure that you're describing who you are as an individual that fits the role of the position that you're applying for. So as long as you're crafting your resume with that end goal in mind, and plus then later on during your interviews or during discussions, you have plenty of opportunities to bring up those different examples.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very multifaceted. So we're closing now, just after about 30 minutes or so for this discussion. But larger than that, I just really want to take the opportunity to say thank you for your service. We look forward to having you back here again. We do our Gov Geeks Assemble live broadcasts each Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern, exactly. And then they are rebroadcast again on YouTube, where you can watch the videos later, as well as broadcast on your favorite podcast platform. In fact, you can even ask your smart speaker to play the Gov Geeks, and you'll get the latest podcast episode played for you, which is pretty fun. Please feel free to come to our website, check out everything that we have to offer. Again, signing up for our community, our Gov Geek Challenge that we have coming up here as well. If you're watching this on YouTube, please be sure to subscribe and click the little bell icon and make sure that we get that there as well. Give us a thumbs up. Follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram. We're on a lot of the big areas as well. Karen, any closing thoughts?
Go find your team and do good.
Thank you for your service. We'll see you next time.